There's one mystery in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 that seems to have caused the most confusion amongst gamers, and that is the truth behind the stranger of Francis Sinclair. So today we're going to be taking a detailed look into the character and piece together the mystery. Welcome to the video. You're listening to Phil of Philby Gaming. If you enjoy the following, you all know what to do, and if you're new here and aren't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. With that being said, let's dive straight into today's content. The mystery of Francis Sinclair, solved. As either Arthur or John, the player can encounter Francis at his home in Big Valley, West Elizabeth, in the following interaction.
Well, what's eating you, partner?
Eating me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll dry up.
What?
See, Hey, can I ask you a strange question? I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm on the level.
I don't have a clue what you just said.
Well, I'm sorry, sport. There's these funny rock carvings. They look a bit like this.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I sort of really badly have to find all of them. Now, it's sort of a puzzle thingamy. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm on the up and up, and it's really important.
Little rock carvings.
Yeah, exactly, little rock carvings.
What do you want to do with them?
Well, it's sort of very complicated, and you'll think I'm jazzed if I tell you.
You're what?
Drunk?
Are you?
No, I wish. No, I'm, lost. It's a long story. Can you find the carvings?
I have no idea.
Well, I sort of need them. Hey, listen, if you find them, I'll pay you handsomely. Send me details, if you can. Here's my card.
And if I can't?
Well, I'm sure you can, sport. I'm sure you can. Francis Sinclair.
Arthur Morgan.
Pleasure.
But I don't understand, why do you need these things?
Well, I told you. If I told you, you'd think I was on the hooch.
The what?
I'm gonna have a lie down. I don't feel very well. And neither would you if... but, hey, what harm could it do?
What a lunatic.
Talking in a strange dialect for the time, sounding more of something from decades later, Francis requests the assistance of the player in locating 10 separate rock carvings scattered throughout the world. For those who are yet to complete these findings, I'll leave a link to a video detailing a full walkthrough of the side quest as the end screen to this video. After locating all 10 carvings and then mailing them at any post office to Francis's home, the player must wait 24 hours before receiving their reward, consisting of a bottle of Kentucky bourbon, $10, a rock statue, and an invitation from Francis, which reads as follows. Dear Sir, the carvings. You've found the last of them. Oh, wait until I show you what I've pieced together. You'll think I'm a bit buttered. Please do not dally, I'm travelling soon and don't want to miss you. See you at my home a bit north of the midway point between Owangila Lake and Strawberry. Yours truly, Francis Sinclair. Upon returning to the home, the following scene will play out.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Sinclair? Huh?
Oh, hello? Can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry for intruding. Mrs. Sinclair?
Yes. How did you know?
I'm looking for your husband.
My husband?
Yeah.
He's dead. He's been dead since just before Francis was born 1 year ago.
Your husband, Francis, is dead?
No, this is Francis. My husband, Tom, is dead.
I'm a little confused.
Yes, I think you are. What was your name?
That's not important. Excuse me.
Learning that Francis is actually a small child baffles both the protagonist and no doubt the player controlling them. But there's something vitally important to our investigation at the home, and that's the mural plastered over the wall. Re-entering the home, you'll quickly come to realise that the mother and child have suddenly vanished too, adding to the oddity of the entire situation. This is something we'll come back to, but for now, let's examine the picture board and piece together what we can, starting from left to right. There's an image of Francis himself, indicated by the birthmark over his eye, stepping into what seems to be a portal of some kind. Then we have the soldiers, which by their uniforms appear to be from the Great War. There's also an angel and aeroplane, which is possibly both a reference to the future of flight travel, but also a nod to the opening of Red Dead Redemption 1, where aboard the train, young Jenny tells of a flying automobile, and her preacher companion states that only angels can fly. We have the clock mechanism, which is a representative of time itself. There's an illustration of the Chrysler Building, built in New York City in 1930, and above that, an airship, probably from around the same time. The moon and the planet of Saturn, indicating future space travel, plus a rocket ship furthering this. A nuclear explosion and atomic symbol, referencing the end of the Second World War when the US dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In the centre, we have Francis once more leaving a portal. Above that, we have a headshot of Francis surrounded by 4 more figures: a baby, a grown man, an elderly man, and death, each representing the 4 main stages of a life cycle, with a symbol of an eye above, indicating that Francis is able to see the past, present, and future. To the right, we have a Viking ship, which was way before the time setting which we currently find ourselves in, showing the first Viking explorers that attempted to visit America and colonize territories. A meteorite, possibly referencing the landing site near Dover Hill, and pyramids, slavery, and the Great Sphinx of Giza, indicating Egyptian times. A UFO references the ones found in the game, and lastly, 2 separate depictions of a travelling wagon, one of which contains a portal. This particular picture is very important. Why? Well, let's travel south to uncover this. To the more southern regions of the game, there's an area called Rio del Lobo Rock, southwest of Lake Don Julio. At the location marked, the player can discover the actual site of the travelling wagon. Surrounded by scorched ground and destroyed trees, there's both human and animal life that appear to have been struck by a lightning bolt at first glance. Just a freak accident. But what if it's something different? Going back to the illustration, you'll see that this was exactly where the portal was. I'd personally say that when Francis Sinclair arrived to this timeline through a portal, it was at this very location, and the sheer energy that it would require to use the portal had caused this destruction upon the area and the unfortunate passers-by. From here, he travelled north to his family home in Big Valley, where later, whilst trying to figure out how to get back, he would require the assistance of the player. The second scene, in which we meet Francis's mother, and of course, baby Francis himself, alongside the mural depicting the future on the left-hand side and the past on the right, would certainly indicate that Francis Sinclair is indeed a time traveller, using portals to hop in and out of multiple time zones, including ancient Egypt, the Viking Age, both the Great War and World War II, among others. But what about the disappearance of the mother and child, who seemingly vanished into thin air right after the player interaction? It's quite possible that even though Francis wanted one last meet with the player, he didn't have the time, as he stated he was leaving in his letter, so temporarily he may have slipped back into his earlier self, confusing the player as to cover his tracks. There are some unanswered questions that still elude us, which I may investigate in a future video, such as the connection between Grand Theft Auto's Epsilon program and the missing princess Isabeau Katharina Zinsmeister, both of whom bore the same birthmark as Francis Sinclair, should I choose to further delve down this rabbit hole. Also, one really weird thing about baby Francis is that when using a little camera trickery, you can see that the baby is actually just a doll, as it bears a logo on the rear of its neck showing the manufacturer as Molten & Co., which if you've got a bit of an eagle eye, you'll understand the company to be a toy store in the city of Saint-Denis. Was this also part of a ruse set by Francis to throw the scent off him being discovered as a time traveller, or was it simply an inside developer joke from one Rockstar employee to another? I'll leave the speculation up to you. I think aside from the missing princess and the Epsilon program, today we've covered just about everything we can about the mystery surrounding Francis Sinclair, but if you have any more information or theories on the matter, please share below in the comment section. I truly hope you all enjoyed today's video. You've been listening to Phil of Philby Gaming. If you did, you of course know what to do, and if you're new here and aren't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. If you wish to see me cover a specific topic on either Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA 5 for that matter, feel free to let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.